All right. So let me record myself quickly. Hello. So I want to record me um giving a movie review of Mr. Crocket. I had seen it last night, as well as the movie The Substance. Um I had seen that last week, actually, at a movie theater. Um where I currently live. I didn't know it was going to be playing anything like that. But there was a movie theater where it just popped up because I was waiting for it to be like, yeah, I thought it was going to be, where I would have to stream The Substance because I kept looking for it. Um, and I couldn't get it. And they were like, oh, it's in the movie theater. So I'm like, well, I'll just have to wait. And then all of a sudden it just popped up after when I finished work. I think it was Thursday when I went to see it. Last Thursday. So, okay, I'm going to explain that one first, The Substance, because, oh, and let me say, today is October 15th, 2024. It's around like 6:30 something p.m. Okay. So my brief review of The Substance, I really enjoyed it. It is out there in the sense of I love creature features, so that's how I look at it, mixed with one of my most favorite movies called Death Becomes Her. So I see it as those two things put together. Um, the way it's written, I can see not a lot of people would like it because the first part is intriguing and then it kind of gets a little slower until you start seeing the dynamic between the Demi Moore's character and I can't remember the the other actress's name. This is my first time seeing her, um, and once those two um are shown more and more, you're like, okay, it gets back into being like active and like keeping you into the movie. But it's only so many slow parts because they do little things that draw you back in, which is including the gore, um, and the special effects makeup. So I have to give it to the crew for that. Some of it I already knew was gonna be like a little fake and CGI, but they did some actual like practical makeup, and I was like, all right, y'all did that. And I could tell like the the people act like the cast were having fun with the roles. There were some moments you were just like, yeah. And then I could tell that um the other actress is a dancer, like professional dancer, because she was moving a certain way, and I love dancing, so I pay attention to body movements, and it was just the way she like effortlessly like even posed. I was like in like the pictures, I was like, yeah, she's like I think a professional dancer, and I looked her up, and yes, she is. Like she was trained for a long time, and then she decided to go into acting. Um, So for me, I recommend The Substance if you like a creature feature mixed with Death Becomes Her, is how I would describe it. And so out of that, I would give it out of 10 stars, I would give an 8. Or actually about an 8.5 because of the a creature feature part. Um because I was laughing at some parts too. So yeah. Um, and what? So the next movie I want to review is Mr. Crocket. I seen that on Hulu. I had to sign up for that because I don't have it. So I just signed up for Hulu for Mr. Crocket. So you hear that, people who made the movie Mr. Crocket? I got it just for you watching the movie that you all made, okay, and put together. Um, that movie, I like it. It reminds me of Freddy Krueger mixed with Mr. Rogers. um, but I like the depth of this villain. Like I was like, yeah. Once I found out the depth of this character, I was like, I hope they make some more sequels. And the actor who is playing Mr. Crockett, Elvis, I cannot remember your last name. I'm sorry, but you were having fun. I'm telling you right now. I wanted to see how this individual sounded in real life, and I seen an interview during work today. Um, and um, yeah, I was like, oh, he doesn't sound nothing like his character. So this man really put his all into this character, and I absolutely love it. I actually see if they keep going with sequels, I really see Mr. Crockett like all these other villains that have been known through the years since I was a child, or even yeah, or even before I was born. A lot of them was during like when I was a child, but some of them were right before. For them to last that many years and to keep having sequels, I see that with Mr. Crockett, but I can see how many times they can throw out some outrageous stories for each movie if they wanted to, or even turn this into a series. Because originally I wasn't sure if this was a series or a movie. People like I kept seeing posts about it and people just talking about it. So I'm like last week. So I was like, let me see. And because I'm not big on series, so that's why I was like, no. But but I'm happy it's a movie. And yeah, the other acting, like the other cast members were good too. I could tell the kids were having fun. The writing, even though sometimes it was a little like kid like, which makes sense because of the setting. Like it is like a kid's show. So I can see why they kept it on that. But going forward, I bet you somebody will run with these sequels and do some off the wall stuff. Cause some of the kills in this movie, I was like, wow. Like, and the special effects, how they did that, y'all did really good. I mean, I was like, wow, I was not expecting that for this type of budget movie, too. Um, I mean, this was good quality, but like I could kind of tell that it was like, I kind of seen it as like a B movie. So I was thinking, well, it's gonna be a little cheesy in parts. No, they made sure that Mr. Crockett was like, oh yeah, with his kills. I was like, okay, y'all did that. So for me, I definitely like it. So I have to give it an 8.5 as well out of 10. I just really cannot wait. I really want to see some sequels, and I hope it's the actor because that man. I don't want him to be like trademarked into that role, but I mean, it'll be cool though, because his story like really resonates. Like I really liked how they made it realistic in the sense of the depth of his character, because I was like, there are so many stories you hear like that, and I was like, wow. For them to take that kind of context and then run with it as a villain, I was like, that makes sense. So yeah, I recommend it. It is not as scary. It's gory for sure. I have to give it to them, like I said, and I like gore a lot. Um, so it's more suspense mystery with gore. There's like obviously some horror, but not on the scale of like what I thought they were gonna go like full on slasher film, but they didn't. It has its moments, but nothing on that. They made sure that you could get into the character development. Um, and so yeah, I give it that many stars, 8.5 out of 10. And that's it. Oh, and also this morning I watched the movie The Stuff. It's 1985. Um, I was going on a year old to give you an idea. So that movie, I like it. I always kept hearing about it, but I never sat and watched it fully. And I think I tried to watch it, I think last year, but I think I got away from watching it for some reason. But I actually sat and watched it. I really liked it. It reminded me of the Blob. They remade it. But it was good in the sense of the story. Like they made sure to pay attention to the marketing schemes of, brands and stuff. And I was like, wow, they took the time to do that. Like, and they were having fun. Like you could see how outlandish they were getting with the the stuff, and then how like people were acting with it. And I was like, yeah. And then the kills in that too. I was like, gosh. Even though it's like phone, like the practical effects didn't hold up as well, but it's still good enough to watch. But you could kind of tell they were exaggerating on some moments, but it's still fun. Because I've seen some movies from the past where it's like really outdated. This is not as outdated, but you can tell like um yeah, like some of the stuff was just over the top to the point okay, it's fake. But it still worked. So I enjoyed that movie. I would give it an 8 out of 10. I definitely can see myself watching it again. Um and that's it. Bye.